What's up, YouTube? Welcome back for college football week 2. Second take's the best take. Week 1 recap real quick. We're not gonna go too much because Brett made a video. Go check that out in our channel and make sure to give it a like, man. Show Brett some support.
Thank you.
As far as reviewing what we did last week, you got me beat last week by 1. So.
Yep.
And then we both got let down by LSU. What a game that was. And FSU's gonna FSU now, I guess.
I told you, and I told the Reese football family in my last video, I'm not an FSU fan anymore. I'm a Bulls fan.
You jumped out the bag in the right time.
Go Bulls, okay? I've been a Bulls fan since December 20th last year when I went to the bowl game. Okay, I solidified my fanship right there.
Yeah. Jumped out the bandwagon in the right time.
I know. That's what I do. That's what I do best.
All right. So, getting started with this week. This week we got some good games, and then some games, kind of mid-tier games. But we got 2 huge games this week, maybe even 3, depending what's your flavor type of college football. So, we can get started. So, first game on the slate, we got number 3 Texas Longhorns at number 10 Michigan Wolverines. Rhett, take it away.
I will. Thank you, Matthew. I will do my best to not let you down. All right. Everyone knows Texas. Quinn Ewers. You got Arch Manning on the bench. All the fans love him. You saw the sign. It had his student ID on there.
Yeah.
You got Jonathan Brooks' replacement, Jaden Blue. Phenomenal running back for Texas Longhorns. This Texas team is going to be hard to beat this year. Their offense, they did a little revamping, but their defense is relatively solid and the same team from last year. I know we're missing a couple cornerbacks, a couple linebackers, but this team's going to rebuild. And then you got Michigan. All we need to know about the Michigan Wolverines is it's at 12 o'clock noon in Michigan, Ann Arbor. 110,000 fans are going to be there. Big Noon Football is going to be there. We know Big Noon Football is very biased towards the Big Ten. This has got Michigan Wolverines' name written all over it. The only downside, they have no quarterback. Give me Texas.
Great analysis. Mr. Brightside. Huge game here. Texas at Michigan. Man, this would be an even better game if Michigan knew who the hell their quarterback is. They started a former walk-on quarterback last week. He did pretty all right. It seemed like the offense went more smoothly with Orgy. They were more into the orgy party. So
I was about to say, orgies do move pretty smooth. I got to be honest.
Oh my god. Oh, we love yeah. I mean, his name is literally a meme. But Texas, like you mentioned, Quinn Ewers, they got a high-powered offense. Isaiah Bunt's already cooking. Defense is cooking. They cooked Colorado State, put up over 50 points, and I don't even think Colorado State scored. You know, and they got a hyped up. No, they didn't. And then they got a hyped up wide receiver prospect, so they shut him down. So that just shows how good this defense is. And like you said, it's going to be in Big Blue, Big Noon, Big Ten bias. But no quarterback, man. No quarterback. They lost a lot of players. I got to go Texas. Give me Texas on the road. Moving on.
Longhorns, baby.
Go Longhorns. Arch Manning. We got Arkansas at Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State took care of business last week against South Dakota State. Arkansas also took care of business against some school. I don't remember, but they took care of business.
Pine Bluff University. Jesus.
Yeah, I guess they own Arkansas. Who wants to own Arkansas? Whatever. Brett, take it away.
I will. Thank you, Matt. So Arkansas, the only thing you really need to know about this team is they still got their coach. He's the big guy, Sam Portman. Sam Porky Portman, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Got a Portman.
Taylor Green's their quarterback. He is a transfer from Boise State. More dual threat, but he showed a little bit of skill with the arm against Arkansas Pine Bluff, the powerhouse that is. The main focal point of this offense, though, and I was kind of surprised to see this guy playing, Jaquindon Jackson. He was the starting running back for Utah last year. He's back, and he's playing for another team that's laced in red, just the Razorbacks.
Yep.
He went from an Indian to a hog. So do with that what you want. And then we got Oklahoma State. You got Alan Bowman, 28-year-old quarterback playing in college right now. This is his 15th season. Can you believe it, Matt? That's
a true
insane.
veteran.
A true veteran. And then you got my boy, Ollie Gordon, the 18th, or whatever his acronym is at the end of his name. I have this team in the playoffs, so I have to go. I have Oklahoma State in the playoffs. So I have to go with them. Go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys. All right, my turn. Oklahoma State, they got the QR code banned, so they're going to come back with vengeance, and they're going to round up those hogs and go come out with the victory. But in all seriousness, Oklahoma State's offense is kind of explosive. They were able to take care of business last week. Arkansas showed that they might actually not be that bad. They showed some explosivity in their offense. And Taylor Green, he was able to get it going on the air and on the ground. And like you said, they got the former Utah running back. So Arkansas might surprise some people, but give me Oklahoma State to win this one. Give me the Cowboys to round up the Razorbacks here. Oh,
yes.
Right. Moving on.
Great pick, Matthew.
Great pick. You as well, my friend. Moving on. We got America's favorite team at the moment, Georgia Tech. Yellow Jackets, number 23 in the nation, at Syracuse, the Oranges. Red.
Orange.
Go orange.
Orange. No, and I just want to set the record straight that in our ACC preview video, I said Georgia Tech was going to be good this year. I said they were going to make some waves. Did I think they were going to beat my Knowles? No, but I was scared to death that game was being played in Dublin. I was. You can check the tape. Check tape.
Check the tape.
Georgia Tech, you have Haynes King, and then you have Jamal Haynes. You have double Haynes on the offense.
Haynes.
But the thing that shocks me about Georgia Tech so far is their defense is killing it, man.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, there's something about this team's defense this year. They sucked last year. This year, they already have 122 combined tackles. That's got to be high. I got to be honest, man. That seems pretty good. They do not have any interceptions, though. They have a couple fumble recoveries, but no interceptions.
Uh-oh.
But Syracuse, they might get some interceptions this game because guess who their quarterback is?
Who?
Kyle McCord.
Oh, yeah.
All jokes aside.
It's your guy, dude.
All jokes aside, me and him have touched base. We've reconnected. We're friends now. Kyle McCord's a really good quarterback at the D1 level. But I am going to predict Georgia Tech's going to get their first interception of the season. And they're going to win this game against Syracuse in the Dome. Go Hornets or Yellow Jackets, whatever they are.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're picking Georgia Tech because Syracuse has Kyle McCord.
Well, that's your interpretation. I thought I said something different, but whatever.
Right when you think he's gone, he always comes crawling back. So, Georgia Tech at Syracuse. Georgia Tech's offense has been incredible so far, especially against that FSU game. They've been able to run all over that defense, but I don't know if it's because of their offense or maybe FSU's defense just sucked. If Boston College was able to run all over them. So, like you said, double Hines. Those two is a killer 1-2 combo. Hines can throw it in the air too. And that defense has really been stepping up for them. Syracuse, they got things going last week with Kyle McCord. The head coach says it was a blessing they got him. So, we'll see what can happen here. This might actually be a good test for Georgia Tech. But they show they can take tough competition against FSU. So, I think FSU is better than Syracuse. So, I'm going to go with Georgia Tech here.
Go Yellow Jackets.
Next, we got Pitt at Cincinnati.
Go Panthers. Go Bearcats. This is the battle of the Cougars. No, it's the battle of the Cats.
It might be the battle of the Cougars.
No. Honestly, this is a battle between unknown quarterback Eli Holstein of the Pittsburgh Panthers and a relatively known quarterback who hasn't really performed that well in his college career. He's done all right. He's an adequate QB. Brendan Sorsby. I'm pretty sure this is his second team. I couldn't tell you who his first team is. Just know he was not at Cincinnati when he first started college football. Just because of name brand alone, I mean, this is technically a Power 4 matchup now, with Cincinnati being in the Big 12. Both teams have mid defenses, so I'm going to go with who I think the better quarterback is, and that's Sorsby of Cincinnati Bearcats.
All right, good pick, good pick. So Pitt at Cincinnati, it's going to be a tough matchup. Pitt's coming off a win over Kent State, or Cincinnati's coming off a win over Townsend. Like you said, an unknown quarterback in Holstein and a kind of known quarterback in Sorsby. I don't know, man. I think Pitt is more known for their gritty style of football, but this is pretty much a pick-up matchup. Cincinnati, oh man, this is kind of tough, man. Honestly, I'm gonna trust the ground game of Pitt over Cincinnati, and I'm gonna trust in Pitt's reputation here, and I'm gonna trust in the performance of Holstein. He went 30 for 40 last week, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. That was a pretty good stat line. So give me Pitt here. Pitt to win on the road. Next matchup, we got the Battle of Iowa. We got the Cyclones at Hawkeyes. Heated history. All right, take it away.
I will take it away. As of recent history, meaning 2 seasons, Iowa has ran away with this rivalry. Iowa State won back in 2022. Iowa State Cyclones versus the Iowa Hawkeyes. I love Iowa State's quarterback. Rocco Becht. Becht. So that's a powerful name right there, man. He's a powerful guy. He's a sophomore quarterback. They don't really have a run game, so they have to rely on Rocco. I love that first name, too. Hoorah! Both teams have really good kickers this year, funny enough. 100% for the season. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I know
That's a good start.
I know it's only week 1, but not bad. But can we talk about Iowa Hawkeyes potentially having an offense?
Dude, that's a whole win.
Woo!
That's a win in itself.
They scored 40 against whoever the fuck they played.
Was
That's
that
awesome.
Illinois State? Is that what it is?
I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's a high school team. They scored 40. Give me the Hawkeyes.
Out of Iowa here. This game is usually a good game. Iowa State, they always play some good defense, but so does Iowa. Iowa's known for some really good defense and some horrible offense. But, like you mentioned, Iowa might have an offense here. They put up 40 points. That might be an all-time high for this team.
I think it is. Last decade, at least.
You can't lose after putting up an all-time high. So give me Iowa and the Hawkeyes here. Give me the boys over Iowa State. Next match, we got Kansas at Illinois.
Ooh, I love this matchup right here. Can you tell me who the home team is, please?
Illinois.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Remember last year when I was really high on Luke Altmaier, former transfer quarterback out of Ole Miss?
Yeah.
I was really high on that guy, and he let me down horrifically last year. This year, I'm still high on him because he's now a junior. He's 1 year older in a new program. Well, I should say in the program that he was with last year. No coaching changes. This is his year. Okay, junior season. This is his year. But you know whose year it also is?
Who?
Every single senior on the Kansas Jayhawks roster. This team might be the oldest team in college football, and I fucking love this team. I'm hoping the Jayhawks can win the Big 12, or not win it because I have Oklahoma State, but making it to the conference championship against Oklahoma State. I pray that Kansas finally eclipses glory and gets back to where they were in 2008. Please, Kansas Jayhawks, I'm rooting for you. Give me the Jays.
I think Kansas team is probably significantly better than Illinois, in my opinion. Of course, Daniels, explosive quarterback, and they got Neal on the ground with the run game. He had a pretty good game last game. 8 carries for 112 yards. That's pretty awesome. So Kansas, like you said, they're a team on a mission this year. One last hurrah, and I think they get it done pretty easily against Illinois. So give me the Jayhawks.
Oh.
Next game. This might be the game of the week here. Tennessee at NC State. Who do you have in this one?
I love this matchup. It's in Charlotte at the, Bank of America Stadium?
It might be.
It's the Duke's Mayo Classic. That's all I know, which I fucking love me some mayo. I know you do too, Matthew.
That's nasty, bro. So nasty. Like
All
mayo
right.
for real.
All right. Way to leave me hanging there. All right, whatever. Anyways, you got NC State, the Wolfpack. Hoorah!
Hoorah.
You got Grayson McCall. Do you recognize this name? Jordan Waters?
I think so. Did he play in Louisville?
Close. He played for Duke in the ACC last year. It's close. I'll give you
I
that.
got close.
You've got Kevin Concepcion from the
Oh, yeah.
SEC
Yeah.
on this team. This is full of transfers. And like I said before, NC State is the Steelers of college football. No matter what you think of them, they're always going to exceed expectations.
Yeah.
And this year, NC State's expectations are high. They're top 4 in the ACC preseason.
Mm-hmm.
I love this team, but you know what team I love more?
Yeah, I do. Tennessee.
The Tennessee Volunteers. Nico Iamaleava.
Are you trying to say Lamaliva?
Nico Iamaleava. That's
Are
how
you
you
trying to
say
say
his last name.
Lamaliva?
No. Listen to me. Nico Iamaleava.
Yamayava.
Anyways, Nico Limalava is gonna torch NC State Wolfpack. The Volunteers are gonna go into North Carolina, where NC State resides. By the way, I don't know if you knew that, but NC stands for North Carolina. It's pretty crazy, right?
I thought it stood for Mayo.
That's a good guess. Dylan Sampson was the Tennessee running back last year. Put up numbers. This Tennessee Volunteer defense is only going to get better. They have no interceptions and 1 fumble recovery, a shit ton of tackles. This team is elite. Okay? I love the Tennessee Volunteers. Spoiler alert, they may or may not be my national champion this year. Give me the Volunteers.
You can just check out our socials to see who his national championship are. So, this is a hell of a game, man. This is a great game. Tennessee, I didn't expect too much from them, but that first game kind of brought them a ton of hype. Lamaliva got, I think all those stats were from the first half. I think all the starters said after that. So, he put up 3 touchdowns, 300 yards in the first half. He had himself a game. Sampson, I believe he only played the first half as well. I'm not too sure. 12 carries, 124 yards, 3 touchdowns. He killed it. Whereas NC State last week, they were kind of struggling a bit. They were keeping it close with Western Carolina? I don't even know.
Yes, sir.
They kept it close with them. So it was kind of tough, but it's not like Grayson McCall played bad. He only threw 1 pick. Went 26 for 40, 3 touchdowns. Waters had over 100 yards rushing, and Concepcion had over 100 yards receiving with 3 tutties too. So I was high on NC State before the season. I wasn't so high on Tennessee before, but now I'm kind of high on Tennessee and not so high on NC State. It kind of flipped on me here. But NC State is a home. They step up during big games. I'm not buying into the recency bias. Give me NC State at home.
Whoa.
Let's go.
That would ruin my playoff prediction, by the way. That would ruin it. Actually, it wouldn't.
Give me Grayson McCall.
Oh, my God.
Nah, James Pierce, that's the bias pick. But James Pierce might actually just eat up McCall alive. So, I'm still going to go with NC State, though. It's crazy. It's a good game. Next game. We got Colorado at Nebraska. This is also a good game. Gosh.
It is.
Nebraska is favored. They're the minus 270 favorite.
This is in Lincoln, right? Nebraska?
Yeah, it's in Lincoln.
Love it for Nebraska. Colorado has no rushing game. No running game. It's non-existent this year. Their top rusher in last week's game was Hayden with 20 yards. Shador Sanders with 12 or 17 was the second best. This is a solely pass threat team that Colorado Buffs got. Jimmy Horn, obviously. You've got Travis Hunter. You got keep out for Shepard, by the way. Keep out for Will Shepard. He's really good. He just doesn't get much production, but he's in the slot. You'll see him. He's really good. You know what's not really good?
What?
Colorado's defense.
Ooh.
Atrocious. They gave up a lot of yards to North Dakota State, but North Dakota State is one of the best FCS schools, so we'll cut them a little bit of slack there. Let's move on to the Cornhuskers. Hoorah! These farmers.
Corn.
The Rednecks.
Yeah.
You got Dylan Raiola. Dylan Patrick Mahomes Raiola. This guy, I mean, he kind of does look like Pat Mahomes. I'm going to be honest. I thought
he
it
has
was
his
just
whole look.
style. Yeah, I thought it was his whole style, but he kind of does look like him too. That being said, Dylan Raiola, true freshman, against a defense that's not going to, It's not going to, test him. This defense is wide open, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a perfect tune-up game for him to get the Big Ten season started. I love Nebraska's defense. I think they can at least hold Colorado to under 300 yards passing. That's what I'm going to hope. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to go with the Cornhuskers here at home.
Because Shedeur Sanders lit it up against North Dakota State. So, he went crazy. He went for 445 for 4 touchdowns. Did throw a pick. They have weapons for days there. Colorado got Joe Horn Jr. and they got Travis Hunter. Man, those two be making plays nonstop. It's crazy. I think that's like a team where you have to pick one to stop because I don't think you can stop them both at the same time. But Nebraska, Dylan Raiola, the second coming Patrick Mahomes apparently got his. He even got the Patrick Mahomes glasses too. And the hair,
that, man. The hair,
yeah, it's everything. It's a hyped up freshman. Nebraska, they're coming in this season with a ton of hype. We're able to win 40-7 against UTEP, so that's a good win for them. Like you said, it's just the defense for Colorado. It's just the defense for Colorado. I don't think I can trust them. So besides Travis Hunter, he's been playing pretty good on both sides of the ball. So he is definitely a Heisman candidate, I think, this year. So watch out for that. I think Rivals can probably throw up all over this Colorado team. And I'm just going to hope that Nebraska's defense is just good enough to kind of slow down Shedeur Sanders at least. Shedeur. Next game, we got Texas Tech at Washington State.
I like the Texas Tech Red Raiders. I like them a lot more when they didn't almost lose to Abilene Christian last week. This was a tough match. I got to be honest. Like, I didn't bring up NC State stumbling against an FCS school because they were in control that whole game. It's just a couple mistakes here and there got Western Carolina close. Texas Tech, that was a neck and neck game throughout, all 60 minutes. Abilene Christian, Jesus Christ, they kept in there with Texas Tech at Texas Tech Stadium, which is supposed to be formidable, but Washington State's got a good crowd on them, man. This stadium can get rowdy if the fans are into it. What I am afraid of is they're not going to be into it this year because the Pac-12 is the Pac-2. They lost a lot of funding. They really don't have a conference anymore. They're sort of like Notre Dame. They're independents. Mm-hmm. This is a tricky season for Washington State. I don't know how much they have to fight for. I think Texas Tech got scared to hell last year. Almost had their season blown up in their faces last week. And they're lucky to not have it happen. I love Tosh Brooks, the running back. I think he's going to run all over Washington State. Give me Texas Tech.
All right. Good pick. Like you mentioned, Texas Tech, man, got a heart attack last week, winning a game by 1 point overtime. That's insane. Washington State put up 70 points against Portland State. That's pretty crazy. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think both teams are going to go off. I think that was just kind of like a tune-up game, hopefully, for Texas Tech. Maybe, like, knocking down the rust. Kind of like getting the rust off, maybe. But, Washington State's actually the favorite in this game. They're favored by 2.5. And like you said, they're in the Pac-2. The Pac-2 kind of killed it last week. Give it up for the Pac-2. Good job. Undefeated. But with saying all that, give me Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech's going to bounce back. Probably be pissed off of last week and try to show out this week. So give me Texas Tech to win a barn burner. It's going to be a high-scoring game here.
Go Red Raiders.
Now, this brings us to our last games of the ESPN Pick'em slate. We got Mississippi State at Arizona State Sun Devil. Both teams coming in some hype after last week. somewhat.
Again. Remind me, where's this game being played?
Arizona State.
Arizona State Sun Devils, now a part of the Big 12. This team, it's kind of going to be the same philosophy I had for, what was the other game that I picked? Cincinnati versus Pittsburgh. It's going to be the same philosophy. One quarterback's unknown, the other one's relatively known and has some miles on him. And I think they have the better team. Blake Shapen versus Sam Levitt. I'm going to go with the proven quarterback here, Blake Shapen. I think they have an SEC defense that's going to hold Arizona State to around, let's say, 17 points. Give me the Dogs.
Dogs. All right. We got Mississippi State at Arizona State. Arizona State is favored by 6 in this game, and they blew out Wyoming last week, 46-7. They had a hell of a game. So did Mississippi State. They also had a hell of a game last week, winning 56-7 against a lesser-known team in Eastern Kentucky, I guess. Might be Eastern Kansas, EKU, whatever state that is.
Eastern Kentucky.
Eastern Kentucky. Okay. Blake Shapen, he went off, 247 yards in the air, 3 touchdowns, 44 yards on the ground, led the team in rushing. Now, I think the key for Mississippi State here, I think they got to get more out of the run game with their running backs. Blake Shapen, he did pretty good in the air. Arizona State, man, like you said, is a freshman quarterback. We'll see how he handles a SEC-style team, even though this is like the bottom of the barrel SEC. But SEC, nevertheless. So I'm actually going to go with you. I like the Bulldogs in this matchup. They're a pretty sizable underdog here, but I think they're good enough.
Are they really?
Shapen. Yeah. They're like 6-point underdog.
Wow. Jesus.
Yeah, surprisingly. But
okay. Yeah.
I think Mississippi State might surprise some people here. And so why SEC is on top, even if you're bottom of the barrel. I mean, even Vanderbilt won a game last week. So
go Commodores,
stay on the road. So this leads us to some other games this week that we found interesting that wasn't included on the ESPN pick'ems, including first game, Baylor versus Utah.
Thank you, sir. The quarterback I was really high on last year, Daquan Finn, he has made it to the Power 4. He's graduated. He's made a couple milli, I'm sure, at Baylor. He was formerly at Toledo. I like this team this year. I don't know about their run game, but I think their pass game's going to be really improved with Daquan Finn. He's also a dual threat. He's pretty fast out there. He doesn't necessarily show it in games, but if he's in danger, he'll go out there and sprint for the first down. What I love about this team, and I know it's underrated, is the defense. Dave Aranda is the head coach. He's a defensive mind. He's been a defensive mind all throughout his coaching career before he became head coach at Baylor. Utah, though, and this is at home, right, for Utah?
Yeah, home game for Utah.
Is it under the lights? Is it night game?
3:30.
Oh, no, okay. So they're not going to have that kind of atmosphere at night, but they have the man, the myth, the legend, Cameron the Third Rising.
He actually played last week.
Oh my God! I didn't see him. I woke up to seeing Cam Rising 254 passing yards in return.
Oh, he's back.
He's honestly, he's like Jesus, man. No one thought Jesus would come back, and guess what? He came back. He came back. Give me Utah Utes.
That's a great comparison.
Thank you.
That's insane. All right, we got Baylor at Utah. This is going to be a great game. Utah is actually favored by 15 points, but watch out for Baylor. They got Daquan Finn there. Did throw 2 picks on his game, but maybe he can clean it up. But I don't know. I think Utah's defense is going to just overwhelm him. So give me Utah. They're the favorites in the Big 12. And Cameron Rising, like you said, he's back, baby. How can you not go Utah?
And he's got hair like Jesus, too.
That's what I'm talking about. That's not that Head and Shoulders shampoo. Next game. How can we go without talking about USF and their big win?
Come on.
They got a big-time matchups here against Bama. Rhett, you're our USF expert, man. Tell us what's the deal here.
Oh, my God. I'm so pumped up for this game. Woo!
That's what I'm talking about.
What I will say is my dad watched 1 quarter. I don't even know if it was a quarter. I think it was a drive of the USF game. And guess what? He's like, we're going to the Miami Hurricanes game in September. And bought tickets.
No way.
So So I mentioned that in the video, but I will be at that game. I'm going to try to get on the teleprompter. You know me. Try to cause some havoc there.
We got boots on the ground.
USF, we got Byram Brown. That's all you need to know about this team is their quarterback. Yeah. He can do it all. He can throw it. He can run it. He can freaking kiss your girlfriend. He can kiss your father.
Oh.
He can kick your professor in the face. Oh. This guy is a machine. Okay? Yeah. That being said, USF has no chance against Bama. And this is why. Last year, we played Bama in a hurricane. I legit think it was a hurricane. I think it was Hurricane Maria that came out and just wreaked havoc in Tampa that year. I wasn't at the game, but the area where I live was flooded. It was insane. And Jalen Milroe sat the bench last year. He didn't get a single play in out of spite. Nick Saban didn't really like Jalen Milroe at that point. He was trying to spark a fire in his ass, and guess what? It worked. So Jalen Milroe is going to play this game. He's probably going to throw for about 200, rush for about 1,800 yards. Their receiver, Ryan Williams, is phenomenal. But what I think is going to overwhelm USF is Bama's defense. So give me Bama by 25.
Nice. That's kind of crazy because the line is Bama by 30. So
we'll cover.
You covered. Man, talk about Ryan Williams, man. This kid is 17, man. And he's playing with some grown men. And he's owning them thus far.
God, what was I doing when I was 17? I think I was hanging out with you a lot.
Yeah. We were in high school, dude. That's crazy. But USF, Bama, dude, Byron Brown kind of went off last game. 48-3, a huge win for USF. It's Bethune-Cookman, so it's whatever. But still, they covered their spread. The spread here is 30. I think USF is good enough not to lose by 30 or more to Bama. I think they kind of keep it close. Maybe they might surprise people, keep it within 10 to 20. But that's just being optimistic here. This is definitely Bama's game. So, definitely Jalen Milroe, like you said, he might be coming out with some vengeance. And Brian Williams, he is going to scare some grown men out there. Some grown men might be wearing some brown pants out there. So,
whoa.
Yeah. Speaking of brown pants, we're going to move on to our next game. Boise State versus Oregon. And a lot of Oregon players and fans had some brown pants last week. I'll say that much.
That's a very good point. Oh my God, what happened to Oregon last week? My Lord, way to scare your entire fan base and possibly the entire state of Oregon. Besides where Oregon State is, I don't know what city that is, but besides Oregon State City, everyone else in Oregon was shitting their pants. But they'll be fine. I think they needed this. What I do worry about is I heard in a podcast, it was Joel Klatt. He's a big noon football. He said Oregon gave up 3 sacks in week 1 against an FCS program, and they only had 5 sacks conceded all last year.
Yeah.
I don't know how good those 2 linemen they got drafted were, but they must have been fucking phenomenal. They must have been They must have been the fence around the White House, if you know what I'm saying. Indestructible. You can't climb it. You can't go through it. You die as soon as you touch it. That's what happened last year with those 2 linemen. This year, those 2 guys go. They're in the NFL. They bring in 2 other people. I don't know if they're freshmen, sophomore, whatever. They look like little kids out there against Idaho. The Vandals. Oregon, I don't really have anything to say about them. Their roster is so fucking stacked. They should have beat Idaho by 1,000, but they didn't. I think it's a fluke. Let's go to Boise State where it really matters. They have quarterback controversy. They got this boy Maddox Madsen as the starter right now, when it really should be Malachi Nelson. Maybe I'm way out of left field here, but I think Malachi Nelson's the better quarterback. I don't know though. But Boise State, they're very one-dimensional at this point. It's Ashton GT or they lose. And Oregon's going to shut down Ashton GT. When I mean shut down, I mean like 112 yards rushing. Give me Oregon Ducks.
All right. Love the breakdown. Like you mentioned, Oregon State scared their fans to death last week. But it wasn't the fault of Dylan Gabriel. He went 41 for 49 for over 300 yards, 2 tutties. So he actually had an efficient game. With when you see that stat line, you think they won by more than 10, but they didn't. So who the heck knows what happened, man? Those Idaho Farmer boys, man, they've been letting those hay, man. So that was their like national championship game. So they probably balled out. Boise State though, man, Genty 6 touchdowns, 267 rushing yards. What?
Keep going.
Matson went 22 for 31, 280 yards passing. I did not have his receiving stats up, okay?
All right, sorry.
Georgia Southern they kind of kept it close, 56 to 45.
They did.
Boise State, man, this is a hyped up team. Some people think they're going to make the playoffs. And at this rate, they keep playing like this, they might actually. But, man, Oregon, it's a different breed. We'll see if they can bounce back. Maybe they'll come in here pissed off. I think they have to be pissed off about last week. So, give me Oregon. There's no way they lose at home, right?
No chance.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So, that wraps up all the games for week 2. Watch us as we go 13-0. Yeah, that was 13 games. 13-0. Besides, well, actually, no, one of us has to lose. I think we picked opposite sides of pit. So, hopefully you got one wrong. But, yeah. Anything else we want to say to the people for week 2?
Just one thing, guys. I'm fighting through it today. I have a fever. My throat hurts. My nose is clogged. But I don't give up on this fan base.
Hell yeah.
Okay?
Hell yeah.
I get out of bread. I get out of bed for you.
Bread.
And that's it. Yep. I get out of bed to get the bread.
Yeah.
I think I need to take some NyQuil and get out of here.
You thought Michael Jordan's flu game was impressive? Wait till you see Red Cop flu video. How about that? I salute you, my man.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate
it.
Thank you guys for watching. Comment down below who you think's gonna win. Like the video. I'm also gonna leave the link down below for college pick'ems. You can always join. Feel free to join and just go ahead and brag your record over me because I pooped the bed last week. Went 6-4. Damn. 36 percentile, baby. That's what I'm talking about. But we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.